Hello and welcome to the Awkward Author vlog and podcast. My name is Alyssa Grasso. I am an author. I am sometimes awkward, and this is a weekly show that I do here on YouTube, also available as a podcast. And all I really do is talk about my life in writing and publishing and what's going on. And this is an exciting episode, a special episode this week, because today is actually the launch day for my book, Unnamed Roads. This is my first fully self-published novel. I've self-published some nonfiction, but this is my first fully self-published novel, so I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to be talking about it a lot in the coming weeks, so, as far as, what I'm doing for it marketing-wise and stuff like that, so you'll probably get tired of hearing about it, but right now it's still shiny and new, and it's coming out today, although it's really coming out tomorrow because I'm filming this on Tuesday because that's the way the internet works, but that's what I have going on, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, the process of publishing it, really its whole journey from original draft to what I have now, and how it's all gone and what's happened. So I'll talk about that. And what else this week? I got royalty statements for for a traditionally published book, which was traditionally published. So I can share that news with you, and also a new segment that I'm going to introduce now that I actually have something to talk about, although I don't really this month, the author income report, which will just be something I do, the first vlog podcast I put out each month, and just talk about what I've made and also, what I've spent, to give you an idea of actual earnings. And before I even get into all of that, I just want to do a shout out. Last week, I gave a shout out to my mom, who I know watches this every week. And the reason I know is because she always comments on Facebook, and she's like the only one that comments on Facebook on it. So I felt like I had to give her a shout out. I know she's watching. But my dad felt left out because he said he also watches it. So he doesn't always comment on Facebook, but he always watches it. So hi, Dad, and hi, Mom, again. And also a shout out to Salem. Hi, Salem. A shout out to Salem and my sister. My sister sent a picture of her cat watching Awkward Author, and I'm going to insert it right here. So if you are watching this, you get to see Salem, watching my video and picking up some tips so he can self-publish a book. But my sister was watching it with him. I don't think he's that skilled at using a phone. But anyway, shout out to all of you that are watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And thank you for listening if you're listening. Anyway, so let me talk about Unnamed Roads a little bit. This is a young adult novel, young adult contemporary. There's no vampires. There's no time travel. There's nothing. There's no real big hook to it. It's a pretty quiet book. And it's a road trip, though. Unnamed Roads is about a girl who finds her birth certificate. She's raised by her grandmother. She finds her birth certificate and finds out that her name on her birth certificate is listed as Unnamed Roads. Now, there is an amended form with her real name, but she decides that this means that she has to go to Omaha, Nebraska to finally meet her mother, who she's never met, other than when she was first born, of course. And so her grandmother and the boy that she hires to drive them to Omaha set off on a journey across the country. She lives in New Jersey, and stuff happens along the way. She does get to meet her mother, finds out some truths. It's got some heart, it's got some humor. Read the book, guys. Go buy it. That's what I'll say about it. So when I wrote this book, let me think. It was a long time ago. I think maybe I first started it in 2013. I couldn't tell you, actually. It's a long time ago. Anyway, I completed first draft, as you do, and revised it a little, and at the time had a literary agent who I sent it off to. He had a few suggestions, but not much for improvement, so I made a few changes, but he really liked it. And so it went out there. It made the rounds of the different young adult publishers. There was definitely some interest in it, but ultimately it never got picked up. And this is one of the truths that I don't think gets discussed enough when we're talking about books and publishing, because if you're a first-time author, if you don't have anything out there yet, in some ways, yes, it's harder to get your book sold, but in some ways it's easier because all you're being judged on is the work, is the book, if a publisher likes it, if they think they can sell it. That's really it. That's all you're being, that's all they're looking at, which you would think that's how it is all the time, but it isn't, because once you have books out there, you have a track record, then you're also being judged on whether or not the publisher thinks that they can sell your books based on your sales history in the past. So at the point that Unnamed Roads went out on submission, I mean, my sales numbers are publicly available through, the Nielsen Bookscan or, whatever, publishers are using. So they can see how many books I'm selling of my first 3 traditionally published books. And the answer is not many. Now, those were published with a small publisher, Flux, which was an imprint of Llewellyn at the time. So they weren't, it wasn't with one of the big 5 publishers that, it does make a difference. Now, even if you're with one of the big publishers, if you're not one of their top authors, they're not going to do a whole lot to promote your books. But I think you have maybe a little bit more reach than I did. And so, my publisher did what they did, which isn't a lot. And actually, they did more on the first book, which shows, because that did a lot better than the subsequent, my second and third books. They're not a series. They're all, standalone books. But the sales numbers weren't great. So my second and third books have not earned out their advance. So all I was paid was the advance, and the sales numbers, just were nothing impressive. And so when a publisher sees that, and they're looking at this manuscript, which they like, then they go, well, you know what, we got all these other books, and, they probably have a better chance of selling them this book from this author who, can't sell squat. So, And I did marketing. I'm not like, someone who just sat on my butt all the time. I did what I could do, but there's a limit to what you can do when you're traditionally published. When you're self-published, you're going to make a lot more per book, so you can invest more money. It makes financial sense to do that. It doesn't make as much sense when you're, traditionally published author and you're not making much on the sale of each book. And you can't track the results of your advertising or marketing as well as you can when you're self-published. So anyway, that's my little rant there, but ultimately Unnamed Roads didn't sell, kind of put it away, was pretty disheartened by it, actually. It got some, one of the publishers, an editor at one of the publishers, asked for some changes to it, asked for a revision. I did make that, and I think it improved the book, but still ultimately didn't get picked up. So, it was kind of just a book that got put away in a drawer. And, I had to write another book, I guess, after that. And it's tough. It's tough to bounce back from, a book that you really believe in and nothing happens with it. So that's when I ended up, doing a first draft of the adult book, I think, that I'm on now. Or maybe I wrote something else in between. I don't even remember. But anyway, that's where we were with Unnamed Roads. And so my decision, once I thought about it, was I'm going to self-publish it. Now, in terms of self-publishing, it's a lot easier. There's certain genres that you're probably going to have a better bet with, like young adult, contemporary, realistic fiction, probably one of the worst genres to pick as far as putting out a self-published book. But honestly, guys, I didn't make that much for my first 3 books, so my goal is to make more with this one than I made with those, and I think that I'm going to be able to do that. We'll see. I will be reporting back to you on the results of that, and to just go from there. It's going to be a learning experience. It already has been for me. And so like I said, I wrote this, revised it. I sent it to a copy editor. Let me think. This was over the fall, I think. So I went through some copy edits. I have an advanced team. They are awesome, and so they read this not too long ago over the winter. Gave me some great feedback. Shout out to Nevada and Steve and John and Vicky. You guys are awesome, and anyway, everyone who looked at this, my boyfriend, Ron, was one of the first readers, and he really believed in this book. And yeah, and he doesn't read. He's not a big reader. So I'm just happy that he would read something like this, and he read it and really loved it. So I don't know what that says about my book, but, because he would probably say it was good even if, it wasn't that good because he likes me. But no, he really, he believed in it too. So there's a lot of people that believe in this book, and I'm thankful for all of them. My parents, of course, have always supported me and watched this. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad again. And so, yeah, I've had a lot of support, and I'm really thankful for all that. And I'll just keep you posted, guys, on what happens with this book and where we go from here. I'm putting this wide, as we say, in the self-publishing world, which means that's available on Kindle, but it's also available on iBooks and Nook, and I think Kobo, and if anybody reads books on Google Play, it's there. You can buy a paperback copy via CreateSpace on Amazon.com, and at some point elsewhere. It's expanded distribution has been enabled for it. So yeah, any bugs that I had putting this out there? One thing I'll say is I probably should have left myself a little bit more time as far as doing the print books and getting the proofs. Like, I just got my proofs yesterday. That was Monday, because I'm filming this on Tuesday, like I said. This was my second proof. I already had a proof of this, but I made some changes, so it was a second proof. But still, I probably should have left myself a little bit more time there, so that's something to think about going forward. But it should be available still on Amazon. It says 3 to 5 days once you approve the proof, but I noticed, I approved the proofs for Frosty Summer and Chalapano, so I got the proofs for those at the same time, and those are already on there. So Unnamed Road should be very shortly, if not already on there. It should be on there already, actually, by the time you're watching this. And what was I going to say? Oh, the only other bug that I've come across is, I don't know, I might, going forward, if I'm putting something on Kobo, I might just use Draft to Digital, which I am using to get it out there to like Overdrive and stuff. But I was putting stuff on there directly through Kobo, and I had problems initially setting up a Kobo account. Like, I set that up, or tried to set that up in December. I think I finally got it set up in January. But like, it's a Canadian website, and I guess Canadian bank accounts have more digits than American ones. So when I initially went to set up my account, I couldn't do it. I had to go through this whole thing with customer service. Anyway, that was a big production. And now, like, the book is supposed to be on Kobo and available as a pre-order. I can't find it. So I'm like, is it really? It says that it is, but I can't find it. So I don't know. Kobo just seems a little bit glitchy to me, but that could just be me. I don't know. I sent an email to them yesterday to their help, and I haven't heard anything back yet, but hopefully soon. So anyway, it will at some point be available on Kobo if it isn't already. But yeah, so that's what's going on with this book. And like I said, I'll be talking about it more in the coming weeks. And yeah, today my email's going out to my mailing list. I'll be shouting about it on social media. I'm putting this video out. And then I'll be doing some actual paid advertising to promote the book. And I'll let you know more about that and what I'm doing and how it's going next week. And so what else is going on this week? I did get royalty statements. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, my second and third books never earned out their advance, so I don't receive any royalties on that, because you don't receive royalties until your book actually earns out its advance. You don't get paid any money. So my only book to earn out its advance was my first book, Popular. And that, the rights reverted back to me, but it was in the middle of a royalty period. So like, my royalty statement, they go for 6 months in traditional publishing. It's July 1st to December 31st. But part of that time, the rights were reverted back to me. So it's like maybe like 4 months really worth of royalties, but I don't think that it would make much of a difference if it was actually 6 months now. I don't even get a check yet. I'll get my check, which in one case is going to be less than the stamp it would cost to mail it. Yeah. But yeah, I'll get my check like by the end of the month. And yeah, exciting, guys. exciting big bucks here. No, just kidding. So I get two statements only because, like I said before, my publisher, my imprint got sold to another publisher. So now I get royalty statements from two different publishers, and it barely earns anything. So I'm getting $1.49 from the one publisher, and 40 cents, a whopping 40 cents from the other publisher. So soon I'll be able to afford to buy a soda from Wawa. Yeah, guys, it's crazy. But so if you're wondering, why a traditionally published author might consider self-publishing, well, here's the reason. $1.89 earned in 6 months is one reason an author might decide to do that. $1.89. Now, I was telling you last week but somebody read Ferocity Summer, which is, I put on as an ebook, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited. And so my page reads almost come to what I made in 6 months on my one book. So just throwing that out there. And but changing gears, I'm going to once a month put out an author income report in these videos, letting you know what I'm making from self-publishing. Now, it'll be what I'm making, what I'm spending, so my total earnings. I didn't spend anything this month because I'm not actively promoting anything. I also didn't make much money, but I do have, in addition to the stuff that I talk about, the stuff that you probably know about, I also have some ebooks, very short ebooks, just on Kindle that I published a few years back now, well, over the course of a few years, under a pen name. So there's a series of them. I do nothing to promote these books. They're just short nonfiction ebooks, and so I just rely on organic sales for them. If you're doing fiction, I think it's pretty tough to rely on organic sales. If you're doing certain types of nonfiction where it's something somebody might actually be searching for, then you might be able to pick up some organic sales, which is what I do. I'm not going to tell you what those books are or anything about them because I don't want to give away, what I'm doing, because anyone else could do it. It's like I'd be giving away trade secrets or something there. But so I have, I don't know, maybe a dozen of these ebooks on there. They don't all sell. They're all available in Kindle Unlimited, so I do get page reads, although like I said, they're short, so not a ton of page reads. But I make roughly like $100 a month from them, give or take. I think last year, 2017, I made about $1,300. So it's passive income, guys. It's, it's $1,300. I won't turn it down. It's a lot more than I make for my royalty statement. So, take what you want from that. But so that's really what's in this month's income report. It's really those books. Like I said, I did have somebody read Ferocity Summer. I did have, I think somebody might have downloaded Popular, which is out there. But other than Popular, I just put Ferocity Summer and Shallow Pond on there not very long ago, like a little over a week ago. And I have my nonfiction book, How to Make Money Selling Vintage Items on Etsy. So that's really all I have that you guys know about. That's all the Alyssa Grasso books that are on there. And so most of those are not factored into what I made. So only places I made money were from Kindle and CreateSpace in the month of March 2018. Kindle came to $86.14 that I made. CreateSpace, now this is just about all, I think, how to make money selling vintage items on Etsy, because the other books aren't available as paperbacks. So my CreateSpace income was $13.29, and I didn't sell books anywhere else. No iBooks, no Kobo, no Barnes & Noble, nothing. So $99.43 is my total earnings for the month of March. So just shy of $100. I can buy a few sodas with that, so that is a little bit more impressive than my traditionally published royalty statement. But again, I'd like to earn a lot more from that. So I'm hoping going forward to have more exciting things to tell you when I do this monthly author income report. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Like I said, I am planning to do a pretty good marketing push, at least initially with Unnamed Roads, and then hopefully I'll learn from that and maybe, some stuff I might not do anymore and some stuff I will, and, I'll just see how it goes going forward. Young adult market. I've read a lot about marketing and stuff, and so young adult, I worry too that it's aimed at a teen audience. So some marketing, like Facebook, I'll probably try Facebook ads. I just don't know if that's the right place to advertise a book that's aimed at teens. So I'm really going to reach more adult readers with something like Facebook. But we'll see how it goes. And I will let you know how it goes. And in the meantime, guys, if you are so inclined, you should definitely go buy a book, buy a copy of Unnamed Roads. Now, I do thank you for your support in all the different ways that you support me and this book and this channel and this podcast. So thank you. I am grateful to all of you. And yeah, I am going to go and do some more book promotion now. So guys, hang in there. Keep it awkward. Have a great day. Have a great week. I will talk to you again soon.